Hi, I'm Taylor Clark, and today we'll be talking about what love really is. We may have heard, felt, and experienced love in many ways, whether it was a love for an animal, a parent, a car, or even a lover. But what exactly is love, and how do you know what your feeling is really love? Many of us can say that we've experienced being in love, felt heartbreak, or even been blessed to find that girl or guy of our dreams. But sometimes these wonderful or maybe even awful experiences just don't start when you form that relationship. Sometimes what we grow up and picture love to be can be taught as a child. Maybe what we see as love may be pain to someone else. Let's start with let's start with the telling you about what society views as love. As I did my research on exactly what love is, I came across a few definitions. Merriam-Webster defined love in several ways. Love can be a strong affection for another rising out of kinship or personal ties, an attraction based on sexual desire, but the definition that stuck out most to me was an unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern of the good of another, as the fatherly concern of God for human mankind. Society tends to base love off of what someone does for you and how you're treated by them. But love is more than just what someone can physically give you. Love is also emotional. The emotional state of love is what's described as a feeling you get from love. When you think of love, what exactly comes to mind? Although love is viewed as a great thing, there are good and bad effects of how love can affect someone. Many of us heard the story of Romeo and Juliet by the famous William Shakespeare. The famous story about Romeo and Juliet is a classic love story of two young people who are destined by fate. This tragic tale of the story gives us two teenagers from feuding families. The teens fall in love at first sight and decide to marry soon after, but they realize that they can never be together until they ultimately unite in death. The story ends with an elegy for the two lovers, for never was a story for more woe than is for Juliet and her Romeo. Sadly, the Romeo and Juliet story isn't just a way that love can lead you to. In some love stories, it leads to abuse. According to loveisrespect.org, 1 in 3 adolescents in the U.S. is a victim of physical, sexual, emotional, and verbal abuse from a dating partner, a figure that far exceeds rates of other types of violence relationships. But although there are bad effects about love, there are also great things that contribute to love. When you think of love, do you think of marriage? In an article called As Values, Economics, and Gender Partners by Wendy Wang and Kim Parker, research shows that only 17% of women and 23% of men over the age of 25 haven't ever been married. This means that there is more than 75% chance, statistically, that you will marry the special someone in your life. You're probably thinking, oh yeah, they might be married, but how many of them really stay married? Over 82% stay married when they marry at their ages. Now that you know where love can take you, love can also pertain to any object, relationship, and also love can be taught. Think about the feeling you get when you love an object. Who remembers getting your first car? Do you remember the excitement you felt? Or what about the rush you got when you knew it was all yours? Something that you could kind of call your own. The love over an object can even give you the feeling that you'll never forget. Often the love of your parents can be described as unconditional. When it comes to your parents, I feel that they are your first love. You may mess up repeatedly, but often parents or your parent will lift you up. This is the love that we often try to find when we decide to find a spouse. When it comes to love, you can define as love is what you've been taught. As a child, many little girls look to fairy tales that they talk about and love. Sometimes we think our Prince Charming will be found in these stories. And often, this never happens. We often learn that we like and dislike from experiences and from what's around us when we're children. Often as a child, we decide what we find attractive and what we don't. Some people who look up to their mother and father often look for that spouse and their qualities of them. But if they dislike their parents, they usually try to find the opposite of what their parents are. From when we are children to adults, we are constantly seeing what people view as love and we're determining what we believe is love. For example, if a guy showers you in gifts, women often believe, oh, he cares, he loves me. But if a woman likes a man with expensive taste and she expects him to shower her in gifts, often we look at her as a gold digger. All of this is how you as a person view these things. Now that we've learned what society views of what love is, how it may affect someone, good or bad, how it can pertain to an object or relationship, and how love can be taught, maybe you'll see what love is for you. In conclusion, many people have experienced love and have had good and bad experiences. Some of these may cause bitter feelings or maybe just cause excitement. The quote, "The priceless gift of life is love. With the help of God above, love can change the human race, make this world a better place. For love dissolves all hate and fear. It makes our vision bright and clear. So we can see and rise above our pettiness on the wings of love." This quote comes from an anonymous source. Whether you've had good or bad experiences when it comes to love, try to weigh it out and see what's best for you. Thank you. I'm Taylor Clark.